Do you consider yourself an expert on energy sources? What about sustainability? Well, it's time to test your knowledge. My name's Valerie and I'm the Outreach Coordinator for Future Energy Systems, or FES. FES is a research program at the University of Alberta focused on studying the energy transition. Thanks so much for joining us to test your knowledge on energy and sustainability. Are you ready to see what you know? In this first part, I'm going to guide you through our common sources of energy, and you need to decide if it's renewable or non-renewable. Let's go! Well, let's break it down into those three words. Future. It's a time ahead of us. It could be tomorrow, next year, or the next century. Energy. It's the ability to do work, and we see it all around us. And finally, systems. Systems are a group of things that work together. For example, the human body is a system of limbs and organs and other parts that make you you. So energy systems is the collection of complex processes that surround energy production and use. And future energy systems is the future of that system. But do we need to change our energy systems? What do you guys think? Have you ever heard of climate change? Increased release of greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide and methane, primarily from human activity, are building up in the atmosphere and trapping more and more heat. This is resulting in climate change, which includes rising sea levels, changing temperatures and weather patterns, and much more. So we need to do something. According to Natural Resources Canada, globally, approximately 78% of greenhouse gas emissions associated with human activity are connected to energy production and consumption. This includes gas in our cars, heating and cooling our buildings, oil and gas production, and non-renewable energy production. Energy can be produced through renewable and non-renewable sources. Renewable means that it's sustainable, it's not going to run out. Non-renewable, on the other hand, means that when it's gone, there's no more. So, are you guys ready to explore renewable and non-renewable energy sources? On the screen, you're going to see pictures of different energy sources, and I'm going to describe them one by one. For each one, you need to guess whether it's renewable or non-renewable. Are you ready? Here we go. The first one is solar energy. This is the energy from the sun. The sun is the primary source of most energy on Earth. Humans use it to provide lighting, heat, and even produce electricity. Conversion of energy from sunlight into electricity can be done through solar photovoltaics. However, one of the challenges is that it's limited to when the sun is shining. So what do you think? Renewable or non-renewable? It's renewable. That's because the sun doesn't run out. It's always going to keep shining, except of course at night. Now we're on to our next one. Any idea what this is? It's coal. Long ago, plants were growing in swamps or wet areas. Over millions of years, these plants decayed, were buried and compacted, or squished, which changed these plants into coal. Coal is the most abundant fossil fuel. What is a fossil fuel though? It's a fuel made from the remains of plants and animals, or organic matter. Because it is made from living things, it has a lot of carbon in it, which means it has high energy content. However, fossil fuels release large amounts of greenhouse gases, which, as we said, is a big problem with climate change. Coal is mostly used to generate electricity, as well as other industrial and residential purposes. So what do you think? Renewable or non-renewable? It's non-renewable. That's because it took millions of years to turn living organisms under heat and pressure into coal. So when it's gone, it's gone. Now, what do we have next? We have nuclear power. Nuclear power uses uranium to produce energy. Uranium is a silvery white metal. When we use nuclear fission to split the uranium atom, it releases large amounts of heat energy. That heat is used to create steam, which turns a turbine, producing electricity. Nuclear power does not produce greenhouse gases. However, radioactive waste left behind can be very damaging if exposed to the environment and humans. And it also decays very slowly, meaning that it'll be around for a long time. So what do you think? Is it renewable or non-renewable? Nuclear power, just like coal, is non-renewable because once it's gone, the uranium's gone. What's up next? It's a house with some pipes in it. This is geothermal energy. The center of the Earth is a molten core, very, very hot. That heat moves to the surface of the Earth, and we can see evidence in volcanoes, hot springs, and geysers. We can use that heat by running pipes into the ground and directly heating or cooling buildings, or by using the hot water or steam to run generators and produce electricity. Geothermal doesn't produce greenhouse gases, but can have high costs initially to build the system, and some areas don't have the right conditions. Currently in Canada, no electricity is being generated from geothermal, but there's lots of potential. So is it renewable or non-renewable? It's renewable because the center of the Earth is always going to be hot, at least for a few more billion years. It will continually produce geothermal energy that we can use. What do we have next? Hydropower, or water power. Falling water or flowing water can move large turbines, moving generators, producing electricity. Most hydropower comes when the water is held behind a dam. It has energy when it falls. We can also produce energy from the movement of waves, the rise and fall of tides, and the running of rivers. The amount of energy produced is affected by the amount of water and how fast it is moving. Hydropower doesn't produce greenhouse gases, but dams can be hard to place and can alter the flow of water. Canada is actually the second largest producer of hydropower in the world. So is it renewable or non-renewable? It's renewable. Water will keep moving and flowing and keep producing energy. Any ideas for what our next one is? Here we have oil. Similar to coal, oil is a fossil fuel. Millions of years ago, tiny plants and animals lived in oceans. When they died, they sank to the bottom and over time were covered in sand, then rock. Under heat and pressure, this once living material transformed into an energy-rich liquid. When you fill your car with gas, you're filling it with oil. Oil is also used in many materials like artificial rubber, detergents, and clothing. But like we said, it produces greenhouse gas emissions. So what do you think? Renewable or non-renewable? Oil is non-renewable. It took millions of years to produce the oil that we use. Now, have you ever seen one of these? This is a wind turbine. Humans have been using wind for thousands of years to sail boats, turn mills, and pump water. Now we can use the wind to generate electricity. The wind spins the blades, which spin the generator and produce electricity. Wind power is one of the fastest growing sources of electricity in the world and Canada. However, similar to sun, the wind doesn't blow all the time, and it doesn't blow the same everywhere in the world. Some areas have lots of wind, and some have almost none. So, is it renewable or non-renewable? I bet you know the answer. It's renewable. The wind will continue to blow, and we can keep using it, making it renewable. Now what do we have? It's a pile of logs, right? This is biomass energy. Biomass is material from living organisms or their waste. Things like plants, leftover parts of plants, or manure and sewage. We can burn biomass, creating steam to spin a generator and produce electricity, or burn it directly for heat. We can also collect gas from the decomposition or breakdown of biomass, gas like methane, and burn that. Biomass can also be used to create biofuels or green fuels that replace or partially replace gas and diesel. Biomass energy does release greenhouse gases. However, because it's using living organisms from current times, the carbon dioxide that they absorb while growing matches the carbon dioxide they release when burned, making it balanced. So is it renewable or non-renewable? That's actually a bit of a trick question. Biomass energy is renewable when the rate of use is lower or equal to the rate of regeneration. Well, what does that mean? It means that we need to produce biomass as quickly as we use it. So for example, if we were burning trees to produce electricity, we would need to be planting those trees and only cutting them down at the rate that we're planting so that we don't use more than we plant. Now, here we are in our final kind of energy. Natural gas, which is also a fossil fuel formed from very, very old living organisms. While coal became a solid and oil a liquid, natural gas, as its name says, became a gas. It's found in pores and cracks of sedimentary rock beneath the earth and ocean surfaces. It is mostly methane and is considered the cleanest burning fossil fuel. It is used to generate electricity in homes and businesses for heating, cooking, and other tasks, and can even be used as fuel in vehicles, but not the same vehicles that use gas. All right, time for your final guess. Was it renewable or non-renewable? Natural gas is non-renewable, just like coal and oil. This is because of the length of time it takes to produce those materials, which means we can't replace it easily. How did you guys do? What was your final score? Now you guys are experts in renewable and non-renewable energy. Get out there and find out where your energy is coming from. And if you live in Alberta, or more broadly in Canada, download the activity below to find out where your electricity is coming from. Thanks so much for watching Future Energy Systems videos, and we'll see you soon. Bye! How did you do? Let us know on Facebook or Twitter. Now what you can do is figure out where your energy is coming from. What sources are you using? Now we've tested our energy knowledge, let's join members of the Sustain SU group to test our sustainability knowledge. Get your thinking hats on.
Hey everybody, my name is Ashley and I'm part of the Sustain SU at the University of Alberta. Today I'm going to be talking to you all about sustainability and what you can do to help out. Before we can help though, we have to learn what sustainability is all about. So you know that there were people that came before you, your parents, your grandparents, their grandparents, and people before that. But there will also be people that come after you. Your kids, your grandkids, their grandkids, and people after that. And that's what sustainability is about, the people after us. To be sustainable, you would be using the resources that you need, but also leaving enough resources for the people after us and their needs as well. Think of it this way. If you did something that was helpful for the Earth that would help it to provide resources for the next generations, that would be like gaining points for the Earth. But if you did something harmful to the Earth, that wouldn't be gaining any points at all. To figure out how many points you're earning and how you can earn more, fill out your worksheet throughout this video and then total up your points at the end. Enjoy!
Here's our friend Megan, and it looks like she's cutting up some fresh veggies. However, before she can eat her vegetables, she has to clean up her food scraps. What is she going to do? Do you think Megan should A, throw her food scraps into the garbage, or B, throw her food scraps into the compost bin? Be sure to mark your selection down on your worksheet. It looks like Megan chose to compost her scraps. That means she gained points for the Earth.
Composting is one of the easiest ways to help our planet. By composting, we are decreasing the amount of waste from our house that goes into the landfill. At the landfill, this waste is processed and releases harmful toxins into our atmosphere. These toxins do not help gain points for our Earth. If we avoid doing this, no bad toxins are released when composting, so we can assure less harm for the Earth overall, and less waste will end up in our oceans that might hurt our little turtle.
This is Janelle. She's planning on watering her garden today. She has two choices. Should she A, turn on the tap, or B, use a rain barrel? It seems like Janelle chose the rain barrel. That means 5 more points for the Earth. Way to go!
Runoff is when water runs along the ground and collects pollutants, like fertilizer and pesticides. This is bad for the environment and can harm fragile ecosystems. In a process called biomagnification, small animals eat these pollutants and then their predators eat them. This means that the amount of pollutants in the animals increases at each level of the food chain, which can harm the whole ecosystem. By using rain barrels, we can help lower our contribution to runoff, as rather than the rain running along the ground and collecting pollutants, we can collect it in rain barrels instead. Rainwater is also healthier for your plants than tap water, as rain has many good nutrients like nitrogen, which help your plants grow.
Here's Megan again, and it seems like she's going somewhere in her car. She has everything she needs, her purse, keys, phone, mask, and wait. What is Megan missing? Is Megan missing A, her dog, or B, her friends? It looks like Megan was missing her friends. Now they can all drive together, which we call carpooling. Again, Megan has gained more points for the Earth.
Carpooling is a great way to help our planet out. Who wouldn't want a good excuse to ride with as many friends as possible to benefit our planet? Even if you were to only share a ride with one other person, but for one whole year to and from school, you could save 893 kilograms of greenhouse gas emissions. That's a lot. It's around the same weight as a leatherback turtle, the largest turtles on our Earth. That's about 20 times the size of a 10-year-old. So you can see why carpooling makes such a large difference for our environment.
This is Melody. She has a basket of laundry that needs to be washed, but before doing so, she needs to choose the washing machine's water temperature. Looking at the 3 choices she has, which option will earn the most points for the Earth? A, cold water, B, warm water, or C, hot water? It looks like Melody decided to go with cold water. Good job, Melody. You've earned more points for the Earth.
Washing your clothes in cold water is one of the easiest ways to be sustainable. In fact, the U.S. Department of Energy recommends clothes to be washed in cold water whenever possible. Cold water washes will not only protect your clothes or your favorite t-shirt from getting hurt, it will also protect our wastewater system from the bad fibers that comes off from our clothes. Studies have shown that families that switch from hot washes to cold washes can save up to $40 a year. $40? That's a lot of candy.
Jaslyn is about to brush her teeth. She turns on the tap to wet her brush and applies toothpaste. What should she do now? A, brush her teeth. B, turn off the tap and then brush her teeth. Looks like Jaslyn turned off the tap before brushing her teeth. 5 points for the Earth.
Did you know you can save up to 8 gallons of water per day just by turning off the tap when you brush your teeth? If you did this for 1 year, you would save up to 64 bathtubs of water. This act helps to conserve energy and reduce carbon pollution, which all around is a great thing for our planet.
Here's our friend Melody again. And look, her laundry is done now. What should she do with the wet laundry? A, put it into the dryer. B, hang dry the laundry. It looks like Melody decided to hang them up. Way to go, Melody. You have both done your laundry sustainably and earned more points for the Earth.
Air drying your clothes can reduce a family's carbon footprint by 2,400 pounds. It also saves you a lot of money, time, and energy when you're running between errands. Extra time and extra money means an extra fun play date with your friends next time. Aren't you excited for that? In addition to that, it is a lot safer to air dry your clothes. Did you know that more than 15,000 cases of fire are caused by machine dryers? So, hang your clothes next time to dry whenever possible. Thank you very much.
Jaslyn is hungry and looking for a snack. She's trying to make her food choices more sustainable. Yesterday, she had some pepperoni sticks as a snack. What should she have today? A, hummus and veggies. B, a tuna melt. Today, Jaslyn chose hummus and veggies for a snack, earning 5 more points for the Earth.
Farming animals releases a lot of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which contributes to global warming. It generates about 14.5% of greenhouse gas emissions globally, which is greater than the emissions from all transportation on Earth combined. By eating only one meatless meal a week, you can save the emissions of driving a car for 1,860 kilometers. Not only that, but you would save up to 133 gallons of water, which is 3 bathtubs full. Now that's a lot if you ask me. Cutting back on meat intake and replacing it with plant-based protein is a great way to reduce your carbon footprint, and a great way to be friendlier to our planet.
Now is the time to add up the points on your worksheet to figure out how sustainable you are and what you could do to improve. We've shown you many green habits throughout the course of the video that you can put into your own daily life. But there's no limit to how sustainable you can be. You can come up with your own green solutions, ask your parents or your friends, or even look online to find ways to be more sustainable. Thank you so much for watching and learning with us today, and we hope that you can put your points to good use for the Earth, both today and tomorrow.
What was your final score? Did you learn anything new? Consider if you can start doing any of these things at home, or what other sustainability practices you can do in your own life. Thank you so much for joining us to test your knowledge on energy and sustainability today. Make sure to subscribe to Future Energy Systems YouTube channel so you don't miss any of our exciting content, and check out the links below. There's so much to learn as we explore our energy future.